Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some M&M character nail art using products from Veeda Bella. I do already have the base of my nails done. These are dip powder. For the nude color, it is Bougie Beige from Kira Sky. So I'm finally able to sit down and film a nail art tutorial using the new gel polish collection Basic B from Veeda Bella. If you guys are unaware, Veeda Bella is the company of VeeNailedit here on YouTube. I will have all of her information about her social medias and her business linked down below in the description. You guys can also use my discount code KC to save 10% off of your Veeda Bella purchase. The Basic B gel polish collection is 6 different colors of very pigmented gel polishes. These are the primary and secondary colors, so you can mix all of these colors to create any color of your choice. You can also mix these with the black and white gel paints to create a lighter or darker shade of the colors. This collection features just red, just orange, just yellow, just green, just blue, and just purple. These gel polishes do cure under UV or LED nail lamp. They are 15 ml bottles. The brushes are very round to perfectly fit around your cuticle area. You can purchase the entire collection or each color individually. So I failed to mention in my first video using these polishes that they smell like spearmint. You guys know the peppermints that are green? These smell exactly like that. I've never used a polish that smells like this. It smells so good. I honestly really like that. I also want to show you guys the brushes again. So this is the liner brush collection along with the Oopsie brush. The Oopsie brush has a pointed end as well as an oval end. This is really good for cleaning up mistakes as well as applying other types of gel products. The short liner brush features a 9mm brush length on one end and the other side is 12mm. I really like how all of these brushes are double-sided. You're basically getting 2 brushes for the price of 1. The micro detail brush is perfect for characters and very tiny detailed nail art. This features 5mm brush length as well as 8mm. The long liner brush is perfect for doing very long and straight lines. This features a 20mm side as well as a 15mm side. I'm going to go ahead and take all of the polishes from the Basic B gel polish collection and place them down on my tile. This is just a tile sample from any hardware store, but I do like to use these as a nail art palette. Look how pretty all of these colors are. I'm so excited to get into the nail art. So for most of the video, I will be using the short liner brush and I am using the 9mm side. I work best with this length of brush and I kind of forget to change out my brushes very often. So I pretty much do the entire nail design with this one, but I am taking the color Just Red and we're going to be doing a French tip. This French tip is going to be a half and half ombre nail. I wanted to do a design where I could incorporate all of these colors just because I don't typically do like rainbow nails and I feel like it would be a really good way to showcase all of the colors. So I just did my half smile line and I am filling in the corner of the French tip. As I'm filming this voiceover, I haven't really looked at all of the footage yet, so I do apologize if any of it is out of focus. I am still trying to make sure I'm in focus at all times. So if it is a little bit blurry at times, I do apologize. For this French tip, I did want it to be a very deep smile line. And I wanted the center of the French tip to be very thin. I did not want the French tip to be too thick. That is just kind of the style that I like on very short nails. I did clean the brush after doing the red portion of the French tip, and now I'm taking the color Just Orange to do the other half. This orange really blew me away because it's so vibrant and pigmented. I really love this color. I'm not a huge orange nail type of person, but I really love this color. So without cleaning the brush from the orange polish, I'm just going ahead and doing some very small strokes in between the 2 colors to try to blend them. I am honestly so bad at ombreing gel polishes, so I'm probably not doing this the correct way, but I am just kind of cleaning the brush a little bit to make sure that I don't have too much of the orange. I did go in with a little bit more red polish to bring that color more towards the center. Then taking the dry Oopsie brush, I am taking the pointed side just to clean up the smile line. You can add a little bit of rubbing alcohol to clean up your lines, but for the most part, I typically tend to clean up my mistakes with a dry brush. There are times when it just kind of smudges the color a little bit, and in that case, that is when you want to use the rubbing alcohol. Once I've perfected my little French tip, I did go ahead and cure. For this nail set, I did not record curing, but I am just using my Kira Sky LED lamp. Now I'm taking the color Just Yellow for the right half of the index nail Frenchie. I haven't quite mentioned it yet, but we are doing the ombre French tips on the pinky, index, and thumbnail. At this point, I'm pretty sure you guys can pick up on how I'm picking my colors for these French tip ombres. For the pinky, it's red and orange. For the index nail, it's going to be yellow and green. And for the thumbnail, it's going to be blue and purple. I am just following the rainbow order, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. For the left side of the index nail, I am using the color Just Green. This is my first time really using these nail art brushes, and I have to say I am absolutely obsessed. The quality of these brushes are really good, and it gives you very clean and precise lines. Do try not to have that little bubble of polish at the tip of the brush because that can create an uneven line, but it's a really good way to fill in an area very quickly. Typically, to clean my brushes, I do use a lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol, but for this, I just kind of used the lint-free wipe dry, and it does remove all of the product very well. Do not put acetone on your brushes. That will definitely ruin them. You want to only use rubbing alcohol. Another really big thing is do not leave your brushes in front of your nail lamps. If you have any product in your brush, it's going to harden and that brush is basically done for. So do just keep that in mind. I do feel like these gel polishes blend together very well despite me being very bad at ombreing gel polishes. So that is a really good thing for me. Again, for the thumbnail, I am using the color Just Blue and Just Purple. I am currently switching full force into character nail art designs now. I know I did say that in the beginning of the year, but I kind of didn't follow through with that. I have been doing some more simple nail designs here and there. I'm also really wanting to start going live on TikTok a lot more. I have gone live a few times and it's quite scary to me at the moment, but I actually really enjoy it. The biggest thing for me right now is trying to manage my time when doing TikTok lives, because I end up just talking too much and it takes me double the time that it normally would to do my nails. I just kind of have to play around and figure out what works best for me. So if you guys are on TikTok, do make sure to turn on your live notifications for me so you can come and chat whenever I do go live. If I do go live, it's most likely going to be 9 p.m. or later. So let's go ahead and get into the M&M characters. So for the ring fingernail, I am doing the green M&M. I just had to insert a little picture. I thought that would be so funny. Whenever I say Eminem, I just think of Eminem. Anyway, this is the real reference photo of the character. I'm just starting out by doing a green circle in the middle of the nail. This polish is very pigmented, so I did not have to do a second layer of polish, which to me is extremely important. I do not want to have to do multiple layers of my nail art. I did go ahead and cure that. I am using Nails by Dev's Bare It All gel polish just because I did not want to have to mix up a skin color. I do know that red, blue, and yellow with a little bit of white will create a skin color, but I just struggled so much in the past trying to create the perfect skin colors. So that is why I did get Dev's complexion collection, and I definitely recommend it if you don't like to mix gel polishes. Using this color, I'm going to go ahead and draw out her arms. Her arms are crossed, and this does seem a little bit complicated when you're just looking at the reference photo, but once you start breaking it down into more simple shapes, it does make it a little bit easier. I'm also drawing out her legs, which are just little rectangles coming down from the bottom. Once I have all of these skin color down, I did go ahead and cure. Now taking the Veeda Bella white gel paint, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a decent amount of this product. I'm actually going to be placing it on my nail art palette so I can run it through the brush. Doing it this way is going to evenly spread the product throughout your brush and give you a better line with your nail art. So I am just starting on her gloves. So for the arm on the left, I just did a little dot just where the arms meet. Then in the elbow area of the right arm, we are drawing out the hand. This is honestly very difficult because these fingers are so tiny. I honestly should have switched out to the micro detailer brush, but I kind of forget to change out my brushes during nail art. That is completely my fault. This brush is perfectly fine to do small details, but the other one is a little bit better for something this tiny. I'm also going ahead and drawing out her other hand as well. Moving down to the legs, we are starting on her boots. I did kind of cut these off at the edge of the nail, so they kind of just look like socks, but they are actually boots. I really love this gel paint. It is extremely pigmented and the thickness is perfect for very detailed nail art. It's also very thick, so it's not going to be running all over the nail, which is extremely important for very tiny detailed nail art like this. The black gel paint is just like this as well. I definitely recommend these gel paints for character and more detailed nail art. You will not be disappointed with these products. I'm also going ahead and drawing out the M underneath the arms. The M is a little bit cut off by the arms, which actually made it a little bit easier for me to draw. The M's for this nail art was actually very difficult, probably the most difficult part of this nail art design for me. I honestly think I'm not that great at drawing out letters, especially in nail art. That is also something that I need to start working on. And moving to the top of the M&M, I'm going to go ahead and draw out the bottom part of her eyes. Her eyes are not all the way open, so they are just kind of like little half moon shapes. Do try to make sure you have enough space for the pupils. There's also a few times in my footage that my hand is not centered on the screen. I will try to crop my footage to make it as centered as possible. I did go ahead and cure all of the white gel paint under my lamp, and now I'm taking the black gel paint. Once again, I'm placing this down on my palette. Taking the black gel paint, I'm going to go ahead and start on her eyeliner and her eyelashes. I feel like this part kind of made me nervous because the eyes and facial features are always the most important part of characters. So if you do not make these lines as perfect as possible, it does kind of throw the character off. I did also go ahead and add in her pupils. This is just a circle in the corner of the eye. I did leave a very tiny white dot in the center, and this is just the highlight of her eye. I went ahead and did the same thing for the other eye. I did mix in a little bit of the black gel paint to the color Just Green, and I'm using this color to outline the rest of her eyelid. You don't want to make this color too dark, but you do want to make sure that it stands out against the background color, which is the M&M. I am just doing like a little half circle above the eyeliner and eyelashes. I did not cure the black gel paint before doing this, so I am making sure to be very careful around it so I don't drag around the color. I definitely recommend to cure that first. I just was being a little bit lazy. I'm also taking that same color to do her lips. I honestly should have used the micro detailer for this as well, but I just didn't think about switching my brush for some reason. I say that I should have used the micro detailer just because her lips are very tiny. I did go ahead and cure that under the nail lamp, and now I'm going back with the black gel paint again to add some finishing touches. So I am just adding a line in the middle of her mouth. We are going to go ahead and do her eyebrows. The eyebrows were the funnest part of drawing out these M&Ms. I feel like it gives them so much character and they're actually really fun to do. And I'm also going to go ahead and very lightly outline the entire M&M. This product is extremely pigmented and I did not want the outlines to be extremely bold. I felt like it would kind of throw off the character a little bit. So I tried my absolute best to try to make these black lines a little bit less intense. I also did not put much pressure at all on my nail art brush, and this gave me the perfect outline. I feel like it's exactly what the design needed. I almost didn't add an outline, but I kind of thought that the arms and legs blended in with the background a little bit too much. So to make them stand out, I did want to add a very tiny outline. I did sort of mess up the outline underneath her arm, so I'm just taking the oopsie brush to wipe that up. I did go back with the white gel paint just to touch up the M a little bit from the outline mistake, just because I didn't want to overdo using the oopsie brush, so I figured I would just add a little bit more white to fix the M. I did go ahead and cure that. So moving on to the middle fingernail, we are doing the red M&M. The steps and process for this one is exactly the same as the last one, except for the M&M color, we are using red. This character is also a male and has a slightly different mouth, but other than that, it's exactly the same. I did want to do him in a different pose as he is in the reference photo, so one of his legs is bent backwards like he's walking. For these shoes, he is wearing like white sneakers instead of boots, so I am just going ahead and drawing those out. It does get a little bit confusing to look at once I add the second shoe in the back, but once I add the outline, it does make it look a lot better. I'll also admit that I was kind of struggling with this hand a little bit. It didn't turn out too bad, but adding the outline was extremely hard for me. I'm not the best at drawing hands, and this was just one of the hardest parts. I did struggle a lot with the M on his belly. This was a lot more difficult than the previous M that I did, just because this one isn't covered up, so it's like the entire M. Because it was so tiny, I was kind of struggling getting the M to be even, so that is why I was kind of struggling with this one. I did switch over to using the micro detailer brush, and this did kind of help, but I still kind of messed up the M. After I cure all of the white gel paint, I did go back with the short liner brush and the black gel paint to finish up the details. After curing all of the nail art, I'm now taking Cheyenne's Nails Diamond Top Coat Gel, and I'm going to go ahead and top coat all of the nails. I will be adding these rhinestones. I have a blue, yellowish orange, and a green one. I'm just using the Hero Sky Rhinestone applicator, and I will be applying these into the top coat, which I don't recommend if you really want these to last. I would definitely recommend that you use a rhinestone gel. I really love top coating over character nail art. I just love how it makes the characters look. I was very undecisive if I wanted this manicure to be matte or glossy, and I just ended up going with glossy just because I did feel like there was a little bit of imperfection with my outlines. So to avoid having the mistakes stand out, I just decided to use a glossy gel top coat. After I apply the rhinestones, I did go ahead and cure. Now I'm taking a peach scented cuticle oil pen, and I'm going to go ahead and oil up my cuticles. It is very important to rehydrate your skin after all of your manicures. And here are the nails. I really like how these nails turned out. I feel like it gives the perfect amount of color without being overwhelming. I'm also a little bit shocked at how much I actually like the M&M characters. I felt like I had a little bit lower expectations for how this manicure was turning out, but I do really love it. Let me know what you guys think of this manicure down below in the comments. Also, leave any suggestions for future character nail art down below. Do make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget you guys can use my discount code KC to save 10% off of your Veeda Bella purchase. I definitely recommend all of her products. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!